Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Tamara with Pussycat Podcast, and I am here with the amazing Her 500, Mrs. Turquoise.
Hi,
darling.
Good. How are you?
I am great. Well, thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
Happy
to be here.
Yes. We've been trying to get this done for a second. Well, it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. I think, March of 2021, right?
No, 2021.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay,
it was 2021 because 2020 is when we took the trip.
Right.
So it was 2021.
Man, that is
Long time coming, but we here now.
We are definitely here, and some amazing things have been happening with you and hubby.
Yeah.
It's good to see.
Yeah.
So just to give you guys a little background story, we actually met going on a trip to Cabo, and we were on the jet together on the PJ, the private PJ, and just the relationship that was formed from that event. That's why relationships are important.
Absolutely.
She's the main reason why we ended up getting into the credit space. Okay. She was like, just come on over to the conference. I was like, okay, I'm coming. But it's just been, you don't realize how you impact people's lives just with that one conversation. And of course, I was the oldest one on the Cabo trip.
Nobody knew that.
I was like, oh my God. Okay. But no, I don't look 55. I don't think I look 52 then either.
You don't look 55 now.
Really?
No, not at all.
I don't feel it.
Black don't crack. You know what
it sure
they say.
don't, honey. It sure don't.
Unless they doing crack, but don't.
Right.
Black don't crack.
Yeah, I would do crack if I could just get skinny and not have the effects.
I think everybody would.
All right.
And you know, I'm not an addict. I'm losing my teeth. Hair don't fall out.
Right.
So,
just drop the weight. Exactly. So speaking of weight, you and your husband went on a serious journey.
Yeah.
How was that?
For me, it was a no-brainer because I'm like, look, I do whatever I need to do to feel better about myself, and I don't care what anybody says, whether it's surgery, weight loss supplements, you name it, I'm doing it. But for him, it was a little more of a struggle because he doesn't believe in that stuff, like surgery. You know, man, they don't want to go to the doctor and things like that. So it was really like a mental battle for him. You know what I mean? He fell into a depression, and because not only do you have to change your diet, you have to change your whole lifestyle.
Your whole lifestyle.
It's a complete lifestyle change. So imagine going from a 3X, 4X to a large.
Wow.
Or extra large, and this is within a year.
Well, he looks amazing. He looks amazing, but you look amazing because, of course, it's a package thing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, you didn't partake on the weight loss surgery, right?
No.
Okay, you just did
I wasn't big
otherwise.
enough.
Oh, well, how big you gotta be?
I know. Well, you have to be considered obese. And
right.
I felt like, so according to the graphs, I was obese, but according to the doctor, I wasn't. So I was like, okay, well, let me get the mini sleeve. And he was like, unfortunately, no, I'm not going to risk your life, and I'm not going to risk my life. So he told me no. So I could have went anywhere out of the country and got it done for nothing. But I feel like if he said something, that was obviously God telling me something. So no, just go figure something else out.
But you look great. You look great.
Thank you.
So
but I did do semaglutide, though.
Oh, really?
So I did do that for a couple of months. And basically all that is to me is just kind of like an appetite suppressant. So what I did, because I'm a night eater and I'm a night owl, I do my best work at night. Everything after 9 o'clock till like 3 a.m., 2 a.m., that's when you get the best out of me, unfortunately.
So I'm not the only one suffering with that.
No.
It's like I can go all day in a sense without eating.
Yes.
But it's like 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I am literally eating.
All I have to have is a protein shake throughout the day. Maybe some fruit or something else. But like, I want a burger at night. I want steak at night. I want rice at night. That's my dinner. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's after 9 o'clock is when it hits. And maybe because my body is in starvation mode. You know what I mean? Because I realistically should have been eating every 2 or 3 hours or whatever they say. But realistically, I don't have the time. So I'm running and going and getting shakes and things like that. But as soon as I sit down, I'm hungry.
Yeah, I saw that Rosina had did it as well.
Yeah, she looked good.
She looks amazing.
She looks really good. Yeah,
I was considering that, but then I was concerned about the shots. But then I'm like, oh God, okay, they're gonna snip some of my stomach. So it was just like, I gotta do something.
Listen, I had a tummy tuck 2014. 2 years after having my first child, because he was like, you know what, the doctor said your muscles will never retract.
Correct.
So I said, I'm supposed to walk around like this? And, you know, I already kind of had like a petite frame. I'm not tall. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, well, I guess I'll get this cut off. So yeah, I've literally done it all. I have no shame in it. It
That's
makes me feel good.
That's good to hear.
It makes me feel good.
Yeah, I mean, before I went through depression, I had my tummy tuck. So I was boom, ba, bing. I'm definitely about, hey, whatever makes you happy.
Absolutely.
And I think that's, again, what we have in common. Whatever makes you happy. If I have to go and do this so I can feel better about myself,
I'm doing it.
I'm going to do it. And, you know, I will say, when I was talking to my sons and my husband about getting a surgery, you know, especially after talking to Marcus, and he was like, had to do it.
Yeah.
Sleeping with a CPAP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My knees are starting to hurt a little bit. My lower back, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling stuff that I never felt before.
Right.
And I'm like, is that age or is that the weight?
It's weight.
Yeah.
It's definitely weight.
It's a big difference. It's definitely a big difference. And my husband is a skinny mini. He's a slim goodie. And he's like, babe, I'll walk with you. I said, I am not finna walk in the cold. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
Not doing it at all.
I'm not doing that. I'm
Not doing
sorry.
it.
I can be so prissy and bougie to the point. I'm like, no. He's just like, babe,
absolutely not.
I'm just like, come on, babe. But I will say it's you know, not everything is for everybody. I did appreciate him saying, he said, I wasn't a workout person.
Yeah.
You know, and the way I had to start somewhere because it was killing me. And then when you talked about you guys' daughter, it was like, wow.
Yeah.
You know. But let's roll it on over to you, because it's a big difference when the support. You're his piece.
Yes,
you
absolutely.
know? So how did you support him through this? Was he grumpy or?
Oh my gosh. Not only grumpy, but you know how men are, especially men of power. You know what I mean? It's like when I feel like I'm vulnerable to anything, I have to compensate for something. You know what I mean? So even through that mentally, but let me take it a step back or whatever. With him being a bigger man, like, you know, we have younger children,
right?
So a lot of times he couldn't get on the rides at amusement parks. We went to every Disneyland you can think of, from Paris to Florida, California. Couldn't get on the rides with them. You know what I mean?
That had to be that had to be a mental situation,
right? And we never had the conversation. And I don't really care, but I already knew what it was, so I would step in. You know what I mean? Like, oh, daddy's scared of rides. We would tell the kids that daddy's scared of rides. And it wasn't that daddy was scared of rides, it's that he was too big to get on them. You know what I mean? Even having the extender on the planes, and you know, Marcus flies first class all the time. Right. So even with he had to get an extender.
I hate that.
To be safe. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of those things, and he wasn't ashamed of it. He was proud of it. He held his butt.
Was confident then.
He was confident as a big man. I always tell people, Marcus was rich when he was broke. His mindset always carried that, what do they call that? That bravado, or you know what I mean, and things like that. You know what I mean? So now fast forward with that, I think everything was a shock because he started losing the weight so fast. So like
I think he couldn't catch up with it.
No, and then
I
the
saw
way he was starting to look.
Yes,
you know what I mean. My whole face is transformed. I look like a different person. You know what I mean?
He does look like.
Yeah, he looks like his younger brother.
It was so funny. I saw him the other day, and I was like, "Whoa, he really looks different. He does not look the same." And I'm like, "Okay, is that what I'm going to look like when I get to surgery?" You know, so I was, because I'm like, do I go ahead and try the shots first, or do I go ahead and do the surgery? And I'm just like, I'm going to ask Turquoise.
Listen, I'm an advocate for whatever makes you happy. Okay. What I say go get the surgery. One and done. Because if the shots aren't working the way you want them to work, then you're going to have to get the surgery anyways.
And then I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Then I'm going to be upset.
Right. So do what we want. So even, you know, just chanting him on, letting him know it's going to be okay. You know, we had to get a chef because he had to change his nutrition. We have, and still today, have a vitamin IV IV lady that comes every Wednesday. So people think the surgery is expensive. The surgery is the cheapest part.
Oh, wow.
The surgery,
the maintenance of it.
It's the maintenance of it and everything that comes behind it, with the food, nutrition. A lot of things that saved him was vitamin IVs, just replenishing all of his vitamins because he wasn't eating a lot.
Yeah.
So he's not able to digest or get the proper nutrients that he needed. So we did that. It's a lot of things that we have done.
All right, so I'm going to ask this question. So has the sex been better?
Oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Okay, that was bad before, right?
Married. I married Big 500.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But no, it's a whole lot better. Oh, God. The energy's there. The stamina's there.
Okay. Because, I'm going to ask the question that folks ain't going to ask. All right.
So, and I'm going to answer it.
Okay. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, we talked about hubby. We know he's the big dog, okay? But, you're a beast in your own right.
Of course.
Okay. I mean, you have a tax business. You still do your taxes.
Well, this is the year that I stopped.
Really?
Yeah, I stopped this year because last year, it's just so scary because the level of access. So I feel like a lot of clients who were coming through didn't want tax preparation. They wanted to meet us. They wanted to see our office.
Wow.
It just started getting a little scary to the point where people was, I'm suing her or I'm suing you. You have my information and I'm getting this and that. And I'm like,
what?
It just got so weird. And I said, you know what? I'm not doing it next year. So last year was my last tax season.
So you sold your business?
No, I still have it now.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But actively doing taxes, I'll do them for my clients who's been with me since I've started. But actively pushing the campaign and things like that.
And doing new clients.
Nope, I'm not doing it.
Wow. Yeah,
we're
people
too
are
far.
crazy.
Yeah, no, we are too far up in rank. I didn't think so. You know what I mean? To put myself or my family in a vulnerable position that way. So I'm like, with everything else we have, I could step back from that.
Well, people are haters.
Pretty much.
It's unfortunate. They see one thing and they don't realize or know the grind that goes behind.
No, not at all.
Working to get to those levels, and that there are days where months that you don't make any money
at all.
Okay,
yes.
And they think because you still have to put your content out, you're still working, you're still being a mother, you're still being a wife. I know you stepped up more on what you guys do for the women's side.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
and I'm looking forward to coming to the next one
Yeah.
because I was out of town for the last one.
Where are you? We're going to Bali in July. We're having a retreat in July.
Oh.
You gotta pay attention. Are you on the app? Girl, yeah, we're having a retreat in July. It's our first out of the country retreat in Bali. I'm excited.
I'm going to Bali. Okay, so let me go get my surgery done before I go to Bali. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, wow, you guys had it at Neo's place, and I was just like, dang it, I missed it. So being this force that you are, because you're no longer in a sense behind the scene, you're in front now. Because I'm just
and
like,
I wanted to be there. I wanted to stay behind the scenes. I didn't mind.
Why she behind the scenes? That ain't even her DNA.
It's not my personality.
Yeah, that's
at
not
all.
even what's in the stars for her. Why is she behind the scene when you're such a force to be reckoned with? And you can speak on, I know you and your husband sometimes do wealthy therapy.
Yeah, wealth therapy.
You know, and I think that was great because coming from a couple standpoint, and here it is, we're on the family standpoint of what it's like being in business as, in family. People are always amazed. How do you get your sons on the same page or husband? And it was funny because the Lovepreneurs had interviewed us when we had our event. I love them. I love them. And they were asking my husband, because he's the one that works, and they were like, well, how do you do it? He was like, oh, I was pissed because they would be at home and I'm over here working and they sitting up here traveling.
Right.
But we wouldn't have been able to do some of those things if it wasn't him being our backbone support. So that's kind of how I view you. You were really the backbone support to helping him 500 be this big guy that he is right now. Yeah. Even though he's slim 500 now, but he's still a force to be reckoned with. And what people don't realize, they're always bashing black women, thinking that we don't love our black men.
Right. I don't see how, and I just feel like the internet and, what they push out and people's perception of how they take the message, because everybody digests information differently, right? So I just feel like people take it for what they know or what they've experienced. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, you know what? I don't talk to women about my marriage who aren't married. You know what I mean? We don't even have a lot of single friends.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because they become some form of advocate for your relationship. You know what I mean? And we're the newest ones in this. So we're like, okay, well, is this what we're supposed to be doing? Is this what we're like? How does this go?
All this opinion, like, okay, wait a minute.
And it's just opinion, and it's not fact because you don't have the experience.
Nor
and
it
gets me every time. That part. Okay. I can't talk to single people about marriage if you've never been married. We can talk about if you want to be married and things like that, but about what goes on in a marriage or what should go on in a marriage,
or the trials and tribulations.
Yes, all of that, because they don't realize it. Or a lot of times I'll hear, because I worked until 2019, until I felt like we were financially stable.
Right.
And for a long time, Marcus was like, you got to quit your job. We have to do this. You have to do that. And I'm like, well, then I become financially codependent, 100% on you. He was like, why do you see it that way?
Well, that's not your DNA. Just being an Aries woman, once again, it's like, I got to have my level of independence. I don't want you to have that. It's not that you. So
it's the control.
Right. Okay, so there's control and then there's being led. Okay, there's definitely a difference. Okay, and people think that just because we're independent, strong women, that we can't be led.
Absolutely.
Can you be led?
Absolutely.
Okay, or can you be controlled?
I can't be controlled. I can be led.
All right.
Because like you said, there is a difference.
There is absolutely.
But you have to trust a man to lead. And when I say he's filled all those boxes for me to trust him to lead me, to give me my soft life, is what they say. I'm like, okay, go ahead.
Because every woman wants to be soft. No woman wants to be hard.
Right.
And every woman, when these young girls be talking, again, I'm 55. Okay. So anytime I hear a female say, I don't need no man, I was like, what, girl? Bye. What you mean?
Right. Okay. But why do you feel like you don't need? None of us need, but why wouldn't you want? Or why don't you want?
Exactly.
Partnership. That's one thing that we always work on. I told him I don't want a dictatorship. I want a partnership. Correct. Because there is a difference. You know what I mean? And I've allowed my partner to lead because he's possessed all of those qualities for me to trust in his leadership.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's interesting because now the tables are kind of tipping a little bit. You hear this, you have all these amazing men that are in entrepreneurship, but then you have some guys who are blue collar workers or they work a job and their women are the ones that are doing the thing. Do you think it makes men soft because the women are in the forefront?
No, I just believe that they're doing what works for their household, right? Because a lot of people don't desire, like me, I don't desire to be in the forefront. I've never cared for it. You know what I mean? I got pushed here. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. But a lot of people don't care, don't desire, and I'm okay being a helpmate. I'm okay with you, especially a man. I'm okay with helping you do whatever it is to make your dreams come true, because your dream is now my dream. So we do this together.
Absolutely.
We have this empire together. And I think that's where people go wrong at. It's me, or I instead of us.
That irritates me. Well, that irritates me because I'm all about we, and I've never been about me. Right. And it's interesting because, people are like, oh, well, you're alpha female, your husband's born like a sigma or a theta. I say, well, no, he's pretty passive until you tick him off. But
so you push that button.
When he gets on stage, then he does his thing. Like when he was at FamCon, and I was just like, oh, that's my boo right there.
Right.
Okay, I was
so
like,
proud, right?
Okay.
I'm always jumping for mine anytime you go on stage.
Exactly. And I'm just like, and I'm excited that he stepped up more and he's coming more and more with us now. But I remember when Demetrius from the Lovepreneur said, if your spouse isn't engaged with what it is that you're doing, they're getting leftover dog food. And I was like, whoa. Because they're
still here. They're not here, that they're still here, and then you keep doing like this. And so then you have to catch them up.
Right. Yeah. And we were dealing with those issues. I was just like, dude, you need to. I remember telling him, he's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do the FamCon with you guys. I said, if you don't do it, we're kicking you out of the business. I said, because.
Plain and simple.
I was just like, I'm like, I need my man there with me. Yes. I need you to be be there.
I need my partner.
Right.
Yes.
I need my partner there. And, you know, people are sometimes they're like, oh, I didn't even know you were married. I said, that's my point.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I didn't know for a long time you were married.
Yes.
I did not know that until
Oh, my God.
my husband a lot of times has to go in there and erase my stuff. Because I'm one of those. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's very strategy driven. You know what I mean? No, F that. Like, you know
I
what
know,
mean?
right?
Sometimes people just want to take you there, and it's like, you know what? Because of the position that we're in, we have to protect not only ourselves, but our brand and everything and everybody who comes with us.
It's so crazy because my sons or my husband have to be like, especially that one that just walked out. He's like, Mom, that is not right. I'm like,
I know, I be seeing your stuff. Yeah,
I'm like, what?
You're like, why is she doing that? What's going on here?
I'm like, oh no. I'm like, I'm gonna say it like it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's what people have actually known me for. I'm gonna be straight up. I don't know how to be any other way. There's no mixing of words with me. I'm tactful, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't like bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, just
There's no other way to put it. I just don't like it.
I really don't.
And I don't want to entertain it. Like, you know, it's just F you.
Life is too short. I think from the experience of having COVID, being in the hospital for 3 weeks, I knowing if I was going to live or die.
I just got married, and Marcus was in there the night after our wedding.
Yes, your wedding was gorgeous.
Yes, so he ended up in the hospital for 9 days the day after our wedding because he had COVID.
Yeah, well, y'all, all them dang old people y'all had at the wedding.
He was sick before that. We didn't know. At that time, we didn't know. They didn't even call it he had COVID. COVID wasn't out yet. COVID didn't officially become COVID until March of 2020. Yeah, we got married New Year's Eve.
Because it was so crazy. Because how I kind of really start getting to know you, well, him 500 really. Because everybody started jumping on, what was that platform? It was the walkie-talkie platform. It was, Clubhouse, because everybody started jumping on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Short-lived.
No, well, people still actually use the platform.
Okay, yeah.
But it was like everybody was getting on, and him and Neo and everybody, and then Skittles, because that's how. When I saw Sonia, but that's really who I came to see was Sonia.
Yeah.
And so it was like, wow, these relationships and how things, and again, it was based on internet.
Yeah.
It was based on a social media platform, and lives have changed. I mean, I sit back and think about some of the people that went on that trip with us. Did their lives change? Did they form relationships?
Yeah.
Did they take their business to the next level?
The next level. What did they actually learn? What came from that? Yeah.
Correct.
I think they did. I mean, for the most part, for the people that I see,
right.
the majority of them, well,
we kept in contact with Halani, of course.
Yeah, that's my dog.
Okay,
that's
Halani.
My friend. I love her.
Yeah. she's just like now she a little over the top. I feel more reserved than Halani, because Halani be going in sometimes. I'm like, she be going in sometimes.
Yeah, she is who she is, though.
But I love it.
Yeah, that's what I love about her. Is because she is who she is.
And she don't make no apologies.
Yeah, no, she don't take nothing.
Okay. She say what she want to say. I think that's the reason why we all get along, right?
Groups of people, you don't always get along.
I still support Farrah because I use her virtual office. That's what my office is.
Okay.
Ever since, for the last 3 years, so it's like, you never know who those hidden relationships are with, and girls coming together. And I'm so proud and glad that we were able to build a relationship and to see you flourishing her 500 with the women, of the company that you guys are building, and say the name of the company. I don't want to say it. You say it.
Recession Proof.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the biggest platforms out.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
The #1 financial literacy education platform.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
And again, this is one of the reasons why we got into the credit space, was because of the relationship that I formed with her. Okay. And you guys help thousands of people.
Yeah, we got over 10,000 members in our community.
Yeah, I'm one of those members. I'm actually one of the members for the last 3 years. I have to say, it's been an amazing ride to see you guys rise, but then to see how, like I said, he may have been humbled a little bit, but I think he humbled himself more than somebody else humbling him. That's how I feel.
No, he would never allow anybody to humble him, because he's not even that type.
I think our egos would not allow.
And he's a Gemini.
Oh my gosh, so he got them too.
Yeah.
Really? He don't seem like it.
Oh, he is. Yes. I know how to deal with all of them.
Okay, because because anytime somebody say Gemini, all I can think about is Kanye.
Yeah. So that's what I call him. He is definitely a Kanye, and I say not only the actions and things like that, but he's a genius.
Yes,
his
1000%.
brain is like no other man I've ever met in my life. The way he thinks, the way he organizes his thoughts, his analytical thoughts, like everything. Like he's a genius.
So is that a turn on?
Oh, that is very much so a turn on. That's why we're married.
Okay.
So I've never had that. So
Okay.
that's what I needed, I wanted, and what I was looking for.
So where'd you guys meet?
We're from the same place, California.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was from like New York or something.
No, he's from Northern California.
Oh my
He's Stockton, California.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're from the same place, but he lived here before I moved here.
Okay, and how long
So
have
we
you guys
did
been
the long
together?
since 2016.
Wow.
Yeah, August of 2016. Yeah.
That's amazing.
We got engaged in 17. Our wedding got canceled about 3 times in 20, and then we said, you know what? We our marriage in 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys had what? It was 2019, right? 2020.
Well, would be considered 2020 because New Year's Eve.
Right.
2019 going into 2020.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing, I was like, man, that was huge. Brian McKnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, major.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was crazy.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we didn't any expense on that wedding because we said we're only doing this one time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And
So
then
it's like,
you
let's
always
do it
want
all.
to be special.
Yes,
You always want to be
yeah.
special. So, what is one of your favorite places to visit?
Maldives.
Really?
Yes, Maldives.
Why?
When I say, because the water is beautiful. First off, I love the weather. Servitude is on a whole nother level. Like Bali, I love Bali would be second. So I love Bali, but they have so many insects.
Ew.
You know what I mean?
Ew.
Oh my God!
So, why we going to Bali then?
Because everybody wants to go. Because Bali is really a beautiful place.
Okay.
It's just the insects that just got me. But Maldives was my favorite place because we had the underwater hotel.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we stayed in the underwater hotel. But even, in the huts and things like that, if that's the proper name, everything about that place was just peaceful.
Oh wow.
And we've been to so many places, but it was just peaceful there.
So where has life? And I've been to a lot of places, myself, but I haven't been to Maldives and I haven't been to Bali. So where have you traveled in this whole globe of the earth? Okay, because y'all always doing something.
Yeah, we just came back from Turks and Caicos. Last year, we've been to Paris, Amsterdam,
That's my favorite.
London.
Paris. I saw you guys in Paris.
I'm not impressed with Paris. It's anything that's too Americanized to me. It's like
So it's not authentic. It wasn't authentic to you.
To me,
Right.
yeah. But the food wasn't bad. Even with all the pastas we ate, I didn't feel heavy or
Okay.
anything like that. So, we've been to, we've been everywhere.
I loved Paris.
Did you? I didn't.
I loved
I
Paris.
did not, and we've been 3 times.
I loved
Yeah.
it. Well, it depends on where you're going. I think for me, because interior design, architecture, I love the architecture. I love the buildings. So that was a big thing for me. The Louvre, all of that. That's
Dubai's another one of my favorite places.
Yes.
And oh my God, I
love
say
Dubai.
it because everything there is rich, and I just don't mean money.
Yes.
I mean, servitude
Yes.
is rich. The ground is rich. The food is rich. I love hookah. The hookah is rich. Everything was just so rich that we were like, this is the only place that we would live.
That is the new U.S. in all honesty.
Pretty much.
They're making it. I mean, I've been to Dubai twice, and I love Dubai. I don't like Egypt that much though.
See, I haven't been to Egypt
yet.
yet.
I didn't have a good. We didn't have the best time in Egypt.
Really?
We were on the wrong cruise. Okay, so we should have did it a different way. We had to do Egypt a different way.
Yeah.
But Dubai was a whole other experience.
Yeah.
It was.
But they make it an experience to where when you leave, you don't want to leave.
No, you
You
don't.
do not
the
wanna leave.
hotels were amazing.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Even the
Water.
I don't think they have a regular Honda
No, they don't.
or nothing like.
It was all Mercedes.
Yes, all Mercedes.
Okay? It was
Mercedes.
crazy.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Maybach. Like,
oh my God.
Like, oh, okay.
yes.
Yeah, like
just going
everything.
through the airport, right?
Yeah, but the butler walking us through, he walked us through the mall, he walked us through the hotel, he carried our bag. I mean, he was walking with our
That
bag.
mall is insane.
Oh, what?
I was tired. I'm sorry.
It's scary. It was scary to my pockets.
That was, yes, mine too. My favorite store. I was
I was
like,
in Hermes and Dior. I'm like, oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, because what is it, 4 or 5 levels, and it was just too much.
Yeah,
it was overwhelming.
yeah.
I won't say it was very overwhelming.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like,
because everything was there. It wasn't missing anything.
not one
everything.
thing. I
Even
said
the food there.
Girl,
is
they
good.
even had some daggone Garrett's popcorn. I was like, okay. Yeah, it was
Whole nother
aquarium.
level.
Yeah, it was
a whole nother level.
It was a whole nother level. I love London. I love Africa.
See, I haven't been to Africa yet. That's next. Africa and Tokyo.
Okay, we're wanting to go to Tokyo. Are you going to the Olympics?
I don't know.
It's in Paris.
It's in Paris.
Oh no, you're probably gonna be in Bali. Now I gotta think about that.
Okay, yeah, it's in July.
Yeah, so the Olympics are in Paris this year.
Okay.
And but no, Africa. You talk about being around a whole bunch of black people. That was a culture shock for me because it was just like.
Just us and only us.
Yes, that was and not some huts too. I was like.
Like really the living conditions.
Right. It's either well off or
there's no in between.
Yeah, it was it was little. I mean, you know, to do, but I had the opportunity to be there. My mother is friends with Naomi Tutu, Desmond Tutu's daughter.
Okay.
So I got to experience it from that side.
Oh.
You know,
okay.
so it was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But to ride by the shanty homes and what I will say, it was a beautiful ride from Joburg, all the way down to Cape Town.
Okay.
That was an experience.
So you got to see everything raw.
It was amazing.
Beautiful.
Yes.
That's what everybody says.
It was
they said,
amazing.
don't let the internet trick you out of going
No,
there. Like,
girl.
It's beautiful.
Cape Town doesn't look like a U.S. city, okay?
Really?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But the beautiful thing is when you're walking along that beach and then you're next to one of the 7th wonders of the world, which is Tabletop Mountain. It's something to desire, and I implore it. I think a lot of people here in the U.S., you know, there are people here in Atlanta that don't even get outside of 285.
Oh yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
And speaking of Atlanta, okay, how do you feel about how women act today?
You gotta be a little more specific because it's so broad.
Okay, maybe because I'm 55. Okay, but. It blows my mind. I'm like, okay, like you're dressed beautifully, okay? You don't reveal a lot.
Yeah.
Okay? I never see you reveal, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always classy in your attire.
Well, I try to respect my marriage as well.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Like if he says no, that's not appropriate. You know, I'm like, okay, well I could see where or what could I fix that so it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable or it's too revealing. I want to keep my marriage. I love my man.
Ladies, okay, and that's it. That's what I mean. Just like, okay, so the Keke Palmer situation. What were your thoughts on?
Well,
what
she wasn't married. She was in a relationship with a boyfriend.
Okay. People gonna be mad at me for my comment on this.
They're probably gonna take a dislike to what I'm about to say too. I feel like she was doing what a girl who dates does.
Okay, so she was for the streets, because I felt like she was for the streets. Okay.
I can't necessarily say she was for the streets, but I feel like, and she just had a baby. So think after we just had a baby, right? Like how that, you know, postpartum depression comes in. We don't know what she's going through behind closed doors. He could be somebody who's never complimenting her, telling her she's pretty. I don't know. It's a lot of that play. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Her ass was out, okay? Her butt was out.
And this
I'm
probably
like, come on.
Okay, but another thing, this probably isn't the first time. It was just public. So she probably, when they go somewhere or do what they do, I'm pretty sure she's dressed like that. But because she was at Usher's show, right, and they made a public outrage, he felt it's demeaning.
I think he felt different first time because the way he responded, and people were like, "Why are you on his side?" I said, "I'm sorry." She's a mother for one, and not that you can't be sexy as a mother.
Right.
The front of it was gorgeous, okay? But why you gotta have your ass
I think
out?
she had on a jacket that went with it.
Girl, she was not wearing no jacket.
She had a jacket that went with. Well, clear as day, obviously they were having issues prior to her even being there.
Right.
So this is what I mean is that I don't take things for face value, right? Because she doesn't always dress like that. If
this
you
is
look
true.
Just look at someone's pattern in history and it'll tell you a lot.
I felt that she was trying to make a point. Yeah.
She probably was trying to piss him off.
Yeah,
Like,
she
nigga,
was
you
trying to make
did
a point.
something to do whatever, or you pissed me
Correct.
off, we got in a fight or something, so I'm about to wear this.
I'm about to be sexy. And she looked great.
She did.
She looked amazing.
She looked amazing. But we don't know. That's why I don't. Relationships are so sticky. You know what I mean? That's why it's all opinion based. It's not fact.
Yes,
but I just feel like
it was my opinion.
Right. But to me, it was something leading up to that, because
Correct.
obviously that's not who she is.
Correct.
Or what her personality is, or how she even dresses.
And we've never seen her like that.
No.
We've never seen her like
No.
that. She looks stunning. She said her baby gave her that liberating
Yes.
power. And I think that's amazing. But I think the whole situation could have been handled differently.
Right. So me having a boyfriend, even back to that, for me having a boyfriend, I mean, you really can't tell me nothing. But my husband, you got it.
Okay.
You got it.
I'm down for that, for sure. I'm married. I've been married for a long time. So it's like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't do that. But even when I was in the streets, I still didn't do no
But we
stuff
still
like
haven't
that.
saw her like that again, though. That was one time.
That's true.
So we're judging her off of one time. You know
True.
what I'm saying? So
well, you only get one time.
right.
Then.
No,
you only get one time.
Yeah, people fuck up.
You only get one time.
People mess up. We forgive.
Yes, we do.
You know,
and we all do. I mean, and I'm not, and this is all in fun. So again, don't come for me, okay? Because I'm gonna come for you. All right. But no, it's just that, right? It was. Like I said, she was making a statement.
Yes.
And
boy, did she.
It was a big hit. But it led to some conversations, and it led to conversations of how does a woman want to be seen?
Yeah.
We want to be sexy. We
Yeah.
want to be appreciated. We want to be desired. And I think people
Look at us
lose
how
that.
you look at them Instagram models who half naked anyways.
Okay.
I'm not allowed, but she's allowed, but this is who you're following and what you see.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So why wouldn't I desire to be what you obviously desire to look at? You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. It's okay if it's okay for her, but because you're my wife, but you're looking at that.
Correct.
Or you're my girlfriend, but you're looking at that. You spend your time.
But you say you
scrolling
want
that.
natural,
Yeah.
but that's what you're following.
Well, this is why I'm a firm believer in you doing whatever it is that makes you happy, because I'll jump on that plane in 2.5 seconds, or he
Okay.
can come or he can stay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I'm going. Hopefully, I always have his support, but I'm going.
See, that's why I was like, no, you can't be in front of people and your grill ain't straight.
Right. The biggest thing.
Okay, that's what people see. The first thing they see.
It's the first thing they see.
You
It's this right here.
Girl, I was
Then
everybody in the house getting their teeth done.
Right.
Alex was like, Mom, I don't really need mine. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
I mean, you really don't. But again, we're in front of people.
We're
So
public
presentation
figures.
is everything.
Yes, presentation. And then, unfortunately, because we live in a socially influenced environment, people buy into that.
Yes.
I'm not gonna buy into somebody who looks like they don't
like
care
who?
about, or they don't take care of themselves. You know what I mean? And that's a big discussion, especially amongst our community of people. You know
Yeah, and
what
I think
mean?
that's the reason why I'm like, outside of health reasons, why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead, because again, I may have lost some. I didn't particularly look a certain kind of way, and it's not that I'm confident within myself. One, shoot, I'm starting to huff and puff a little bit. I'm like, okay, wait a minute.
I'm tired.
I'm tired going up and down the stairs, and it's like, it's not age, it's weight.
You're an advocate for fanpreneurs, right?
Yes.
For people who aspire to be in a family of health and wellness and making money. It all coincides with each other.
It really does.
You know what I mean? So
really
that
does.
that becomes something for you to relinquish to your community. You know what I mean? Of potential buyers. Like,
Like,
look,
this is my way. This is what I decided to do. And
Absolutely.
I had to, because I'd be like, okay, what clothes can I wear today? Nobody wants to feel uncomfortable.
Right.
When they're going out. And what's happening is, what COVID allowed people to do is they became hermits more and more. Hermit. If you don't know what hermit is, a person that stays to themselves in the house and don't want to be seen. That's what we used to call them back in the day.
that's why a lot of people now have social anxiety.
Yes.
Because they were behind a curtain, which means at home for about 2 years. So they didn't really talk to anybody. That's why we have so many great content creators. They couldn't do anything but sit at home and content create or think or be strategic, or just do something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'm like, this is the era we're coming out of.
So either we can take advantage of it,
Right.
or you can stay broke.
Or you can,
Because
that's it.
Because at this point, we don't start using some of the technology.
This is the new norm.
Yeah, it's the new norm. And I say, and I was, saying, I was talking to my brother, and my brother happens to be incarcerated, and I said, bro, it's different out here. It's not the same. And I'll do a show on why my brother was incarcerated, because it was self-defense, but they still found him guilty. But I was like, he's been there like 11, 12 years, and I was like, dude, it is so different. The world is not the same anymore, you know, and it's like, and it's getting ready to get even on a whole nother level. And it's like, this is the time for you to start doing something. Ladies, create something that you love. You got a passion, you know, even if you're going through a divorce. Guess what? There are people out here talking about divorce. Even if you have an anxiety, there are people talking about anxiety.
Talk about it.
You know,
somebody wants to hear it, and you can be an advocate for somebody, and you can help somebody. Your story can realistically help somebody.
So what would be your top 3 things that you would tell females to how to be with a man in a relationship? what's the top 3? What you gonna tell them?
First and foremost, give him space.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of men require space, right? And
somebody said they gave their husband head every morning, so I mean.
That's out.
I was like, Angela Yee. Angela Yee said she lockjaw because she was.
I'm pretty sure. Okay, there's only so much this can do. I need a break today.
Okay, like come on, every day.
You know, another thing is, I think a lot of women today don't understand partnership. You know, everybody is looking for somebody to take care of them, and that's just not it. You know, subjectively, if a man wants to, understand this is a partnership. It takes two. Even if I'm not bringing all the money, trust and believe, I got a whole job, a whole field, a whole army behind me of jobs that I have to do to sustain whatever it is that we have.
And level of support.
The support is the biggest thing, especially if you know, have someone who in the field like Marcus, right? The biggest thing for him is the support. Like we can't exist if you don't support me.
Or come home to peace.
That too, coming home to peace. Always be peaceful, because sometimes I'll be having some shit to say. But you know, and then communication, you know what I mean, and knowing how to argue. We had to see a therapist. We went before we got married, we saw a therapist. After we were married, we saw a therapist. And one of the things that we learned about ourselves is that we didn't know how to argue. Meaning every time we did argue, we always attacked each other.
Hitting the belt.
And you know how Aries is. I mean, we'll bop. Okay, you know Gemini is. But like we're just going like this, and to the point where he was like, you guys aren't even attacking the problem.
Correct.
What is the problem? You're attacking each other. Now that's a new problem.
You're trying to get the dig in,
right,
instead of solving the problem.
Right, absolutely. And a person like me, I always wanted to win. I never wanted to lose.
That's an Aries trait.
And legitimately, I had to train my brain to be like, you know what? I use psychology measures. It's psychologically learning how to deal with my partner, right? So I don't feel like I'm losing, or I feel like I'm getting punked, or you just trying to tell me what to do. It's like, okay, well, we can compromise here. You know what I mean?
I think who does a great job at that is Neil's wife.
What you mean?
She's very soft. She's She is a sweetheart.
She's a sweetheart, and she's one of those, just go with the flow, whatever makes him happy.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean?
But she also seems, I've seen her in a strong.
Oh no, she'll go there.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. No,
I saw her. I was like,
nothing
wow.
about her, no punk. No, she will go. She's from Philly.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, no, she's definitely from Philly, and she represents that to the core. But when I say she's one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life, and she'll give you hugs and love. She's very affectionate.
Yes, she is.
I mean, literally.
And he needs that because he's an Aries man.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, he
Lord. He on a whole nother level of Aries. Okay.
Yeah, but she knows how to deal with it, and she deals with it well.
With grace.
With grace.
With a lot of grace.
And, oh my God, with love and with just soft. And I'm like, wow, sometimes I wish I could be that.
Yeah, that's why they pop them babies out. Okay. Yeah, I think, being an alpha female, as they say, a strong, I think men get it confused why women are called alpha females, because if a woman is a strong female that you guys call strong, it's because, sorry to hurt your little feelings, it's because you're not doing what you're supposed to do.
That's a fact.
Because women automatically turn on the survival mode of,
because of your lack thereof.
Right.
Yep.
Not because she's thinking you're lacking. She's like, okay, I got to support and help my man.
Right.
So let me do what I need to do.
I got to go to work.
Right. And then in turn, you guys turn around and think, oh, she don't listen to me, or she doesn't do this. It's not that. It's just like, we got to be okay.
Right. Yeah.
I got to take the reins.
I got to make sure we're okay. That was so. Oh, sorry. We went 50-50 until my 50 wasn't a contributing factor, livelihood, but it kept me mentally and emotionally sane because it made me still feel like I existed. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't losing myself in some sort. But once again, that was just me talking about me.
Right.
Even when we got married, it took me almost a little over 6 months to change my last name.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I say that because, and not because he doesn't deserve it, he doesn't do everything he's supposed to do. It was me. It was, I'm losing a piece of my that I'm losing a piece of my identity if I give this is what I'm born with. If I give this up, this is all I have. You know what I mean? Like, this is a part of me. This is what I'm supposed to die with.
Okay, so since you brought that up, how do you feel about women proposing to men?
Oh, I think that is completely out. I am sorry.
I'm like, what
and
the
it's
heck?
not about tradition or anything like that, but
I don't think you're allowing the man to be the man.
No, and you already set the tone for the relationship. If he says yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you've already set the dynamics and the tone of the relationship.
And what woman wants
she
a pump for
is wearing the pants.
I'm sorry.
I know what you mean.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that.
You know, like, pants is up, boots to the ground. It's hers.
No, I like that man to be. My husband is so quiet, but he's so, like, in control. And people are like, oh, you just be bossing your husband around. I was like, no, actually, I don't. I said, he be in the corner like, hey, all you gotta do is give me the eye or, say tomorrow.
And then you squirt like this. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wants to be from what I know of, a woman wants to be led.
Yes.
She wants her man to be confident. She wants her man to be supportive.
Right.
And just, have her back. And me as a woman, I want that man to be everything.
Right.
Right. Like, if he touched me, I melt, okay?
Right, yeah.
Because
I'm still in love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Still in love.
So, I guess pretty much, I think we've talked about we've talked about everything. Okay, well, that's what it's like. It's not supposed to be like, the men's podcast is all business, right?
And then interview. I like conversation pieces.
Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, let's get in here and let's attack or tackle everything. You know what I mean?
It's like being a mother, being a wife, yourself, Oh, I know what I wanted to ask. How do you take care of you? When do you have you time?
Well, there's 3 things I know I do for myself religiously, and it's non-negotiable. I get my hair done, I get my nails done, I get my hydrofacials, and I have to get my makeup done.
Okay.
I love getting my makeup done. Like, I love just sitting there and just getting my...
That is a great feeling.
Face. You know what I mean? Like, when somebody... And just the beauty of it. But those things are, for me, non-negotiable. They are... I don't... Listen, I got a nail appointment every 3rd Sunday of every month. I try to work around the kids' schedule because, like I said, they have something to do. But majority, if we're not on the weekends, that's primarily my time to myself for me to sleep in and for me to do things because my dad takes them a lot.
All right, so guys, we're gonna make sure we have. Okay, so Turquoise, what's your social media handle?
Her 500 _ on Instagram, Turquoise Barney Facebook, her 500 _ on TikTok.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Pussycat Talk Podcast. We'll see you next time.